All right, welcome to my truck. I'm a truck driver. My name is Alan Jennings. Made a goal here a while back that I wanted to read the Bible online and share it with as many people as I could, kind of as just a gesture to God, and it helps me to study and draw closer to Him. I thought if I could bring any of you all with me, that would be an awesome thing. Plus, I would like to leave this video message for my grandchildren, my grandson, and my children, and anybody else who wants to read. You know, they can always go with old Grandpa and read. So my goal is to start here in Genesis chapter 1 and go all the way to the end. I'm going to stop talking in certain parts that touch my heart, and parts that I feel that are stress-worthy. You know, God left us a letter, a book on how to live, and it answers all questions. I mean, from down to the single person, to government, to everything. Every question they ever needed was in the Bible. So if you've never read the Bible, it would be great for you to get a Bible and read along with me. I would never want to steer anybody wrong, but I'm a firm believer that everything in this book is the truth. It's from God. I have felt the Spirit of God many, many times in my heart, and I know that God is real. It doesn't take any convincing. I do know that Jesus Christ made the ultimate sacrifice for us so that we may go to heaven, because we're darn sure not worthy. We are born of sin, and it's hard to keep that nose clean, and there's nothing that we warrant to even be next to God as people. But God's seen that, and God paid the ultimate blood sacrifice. And it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing. So the stories are all in here. They're all true. And I look forward to bringing them to you. If you will just click subscribe to my channel, we'll make this journey together. And I was trying it live on Facebook, and it got the scheduling and everything. I was trying to make it live so that everybody could be on at one time and read with me and all that. It never worked out. And with me driving the truck, I couldn't get a schedule down, and then had some health issues, and but now I've got me a good doctor. I think I've got all my health issues are on the backside. God has touched me and healed me through a personal experience. I had a couple people pray for me, and it really done wonders in my life. So we're going to learn everything in this book, from who we are and why we're here and how to live. And it's just an amazing, we have the guide right here. So that's my introduction. I hope you stick with me to the end. I hope you tell people about this that may want to read the Bible. I know there's all kinds of venues out there, and it doesn't matter whether you read with me or not. It's just that you read. That's what's important. That you learn. At least seek God if you don't know Him, because this world is a beautiful thing when you have Jesus and you have God in your life, and you have that still small voice in you, and the joy is, to me, I think that every day on this earth is a gift from God to love and to cherish. So also, like I said, I'll start right here, Genesis chapter 1. I'll just read one chapter tonight, since this is my opening deal. I'll read the story of creation. And it tells everybody the biggest questions is where we come from. Well, we come from God. God spoke, and we were created from the ashes. From the clay of the ground. So everything we see was made by God. It may have been built by us, but the materials were made by God. So that's the answer. There's no Big Bang. There's no any of that. So here we go. Genesis chapter 1. By the way, Genesis means origins or the beginning. So In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the faces of the waters. And God said, Let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light, and that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, Let the earth bring forth grass and herb yielding seed, and fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed in itself upon the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and a tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. And God said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days, and for years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them on the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day, over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good, and the evening and the morning were the fourth day. And God said, Let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth, above open firmament of heaven. And God created the great whales and every living creature that moveth, which waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good. He didn't just create one thing and it evolved into all this stuff. God created all of it separately. Very important. I mean, it's evolution's great falsehood. Okay, and God said, Let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, and the cattle and the creeping thing, and the beasts of the earth after his kind, and it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth after his kind, the cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and God saw that it was good. Reiterating the fact, they didn't all evolve from one tadpole. And God said, Let us make man in our own image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female created he them. God blessed them, and God said unto them, Be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish in the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the living creatures that moveth upon the earth. Now, just tell you, this is before the Garden of Eden. That's why, it's right there within the days of that same time. It all happened together. But it says right here very specifically that he created them and told them to split up and multiply and fill. Adam and Eve was going to be created and placed in the Garden of Eden. There wasn't told to go out and sin. I mean, that's not preached, it's not taught, but that's what that's the way I read this. I've always used to always, you say, Cain said when he kills Abel, they're going to kill me when I go out there. They're going to know. But I used to think, well, who in the world was he afraid of? Well, God had, created these people and all these races and sent them across to the fishermen and the hunters and all that, not the farmers. So God created man in his own image, and the image of God he created him, male and female created them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish in the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. Read that twice. And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree which is the fruit of the tree yielding, and it shall be for meat. And every beast of the earth, and the fowl of the air, and everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given you every herb for meat. And it was so. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. All of mankind, that was very good. And it was the evening and the morning, and it was the sixth day. And, I do want to do chapter 2, too, just because it falls right in there to what I was just talking about. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, the host of them. And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested the seventh day from all the work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made. So, all the way through the Old Testament, through the New Testament, the seventh day, the Sabbath day, it's supposed to be revered way more than we revere. But myself, being a truck driver, I fall way short there. I really feel like that's an important point there, as you will see later. Now these are the generations of the heavens and the earth, when they were created in the day the Lord God made the earth and heavens. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But there went from a mist of the earth, and watered the whole face of the ground. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils, and the breath of life, and the man became a living soul. And the Lord God planted eastward in Eden, where he had put the man, planted a garden eastward in Eden, where he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight, and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Personally, I believe that the tree of life is Jesus Christ, but he's separated. It's just, they're never allowed to approach the tree of life at this time yet. And the tree of the knowledge of good and evil is the serpent of Satan. That's anyway. And the river went out to Eden, to the water of the garden, and thence it was parted and became into four heads. And the name of the first is Pison, that which encompasses the whole land of Havilah, and where there is gold. And the gold of the land is good. There is bdellium and onyxstone. And the name of the second river is Gihon. And the same compasses the whole land of Ethiopia. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel, and that which goeth toward the east of Assyria. And the fourth river is Euphrates. And the Lord God took the man and put him in the garden of Eden to dress it and keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For the day thou eatest it, therefore thou shalt surely die. And the Lord God said, Is it not good that a man should be alone? I will make him a helpmate for him. And out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field, and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam, to see which he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave the names of all the cattle, and to all the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helpmate for him. So the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs, and closed up his flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man he made woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, and the man and his wife were not ashamed. There we go. So, I'll stop there. That's about 15 minutes, and that's what I kind of like to keep it, so I don't. But anyway, the little things like what I was saying about the sixth day man and that. That's the way I believe it is. But if it wasn't, that's not has anything to do with salvation. There's all kinds of different theories about. You hear all different things, but I believe because of the little bit of knowledge that I've got from the Hebrew, Greek, and the adding of the H after the end of the names, and the way it's written, that I believe that Adam was not included in that first set, and that they would come out. Whether it's true or false, whether you believe in that typical thing there, it does not affect your salvation one bit. There's a lot of this old history and interpretation isn't going to affect, your salvation. What does affect your salvation is one door, one way, Jesus Christ to heaven. It's going to take us a long time to get there. I read for a year and a half, and on Facebook, and just got to 2 Samuel. But we're starting all over again, and I'm happy and blessed to be back on here. At the bottom, there's places you can make comments. I ask that you please not be rude and leave mean comments, but if you have any questions or prayer requests or any of that for anybody to read, I ask that anybody that sees a prayer request or has one, print it or pray it, and I'll pray for you all and you pray for me, and let's see if I can get this thing rolling and get some people to make this journey with me through the Bible. Love you all. Bye.